Yes,
Can
ma'am.
anyone hear me? All right,
We can hear
thank you
you.
Yes,
very
ma'am.
much.
We can hear you,
Okay,
Doctor.
thank you. Thank you. So this workshop is organized by the Nigeria Maritime University Library, and my name is Dr. Fatima Jibril Abduldayan. I'm the university librarian, and the session on cataloging and classification using artificial intelligence will be facilitated by a research consultant and a librarian named Martha Tize. Before we begin, I will bring greetings from my Vice Chancellor, Professor Flora Oluwafemi Tobolayefa, Vice Chancellor of the Nigeria Maritime University. And I would also want to acknowledge some participants on this call. I can see the librarian of the Kwara State College of Education, Oro. I'm seeing Ali Ibrahim Mafi, Aliu Ibrahim Usman, Dr. Blessing, Mr. Confidence, Mr. Hallen, Hope Chikodi, Jamil, Jite, Liptek, Victor Damut, Nafisa, Oshiname, Ozioma, Opene, Princess Ejiro, Suraya, UBG South, Unachukwu Amaka, and Dr. Kolawole. Thank you so much for taking our time to be part of this training workshop. All right, so without wasting much of our time, I would read the biography of our facilitator and then we begin the workshop. Martha Tize is a dedicated research consultant with a strong passion for knowledge development, scholarly advancement, and evidence-based practice. In her professional role, she has contributed to strategic planning, information management, and the enhancement of library services. Her work supports institutional goals by ensuring effective organization, research support, and the promotion of modern information practices within the academic environment. She also has extensive practical experience in the use of cataloging and classification using artificial intelligence, where she engages in the application of intelligent tools and systems to improve bibliographic control, subject analysis, and information organization. And this experience reflects her interest in emerging technologies and their role in transforming library operations into more efficient, automated, and user-focused services. And that's our facilitator for today, Martha Tize. So in 30 minutes, we're going to listen to a presentation. And I must mention here that this is going to be a practical session. So I would advise that we get textbooks, physical textbook. If you have any around you, keep it close because we would ask you to also do some cataloging and classification using AI and drop your comment, your observation, and your results in the comment section. So if you don't have a physical book close by, please go to an open source website like the Directory of Open Access Book, DOAB. I will drop the link in the comment section. Go to that website and download a free open access book and keep, so that when we get to the practical proper, you would be able to also follow as the facilitator is demonstrating how to catalog and classify using artificial intelligence. Also note that this session is being recorded, and the essence of recording is for us to have access to the training even after the virtual session. So the recorded version will be made available on our YouTube page, all our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are also on YouTube. Just type NMU Library, that's Nigeria Maritime University Library, NMU Library, and then you will have access to this training. We'll also be sharing an attendance sheet, and for those that would be interested in the certificate, it's optional, it's not compulsory. If you're interested, when you fill the attendance sheet, you indicate your interest. Finally, we will share the slides for this training at the end of the virtual session. That's why we requested for your email address while you were registering. So thank you so much, and welcome once again. So our facilitator, over to you, Martha Tize. Please share your screen and you can start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Good evening, everyone. It is a great honor to be here on this webinar this evening. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to my mentor, Dr. Fatima, for this privilege and opportunity to facilitate this session. And I also like to acknowledge the presence of distinguished professionals in the field of librarianship who have joined this session. Thank you so much. So, like she has rightly said, it is going to be a practical class. But before that, I would like to give us, I'm trying to share my screen now. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we are seeing it. We need you to put it in full.
Okay. So cataloging and classification are basically the core library functions that we have, and they ensure easy access to information resources. One thing that is very prevalent is that even people that are not in the field of librarianship, if you ask them anything about library science, they mostly say they are catalogers and they are classifiers. So that is one of the core things that makes us who we are. Now, traditionally, cataloging and classification was done manually. But now it is being influenced by the infiltration of artificial intelligence because AI improves efficiency. AI supports this library process, but it does not replace librarians. So it is best used as an assistant. So efficient cataloging and classification is essential for navigating vast data volumes. However, AI is transforming librarianship, and that is why we all have to embrace this technology, because AI system can perform automated metadata extraction, it can process large volumes of data quickly and accurately. It increases efficiency and it reduces a lot of manual entries errors in cataloging. So by utilizing it, libraries can now implement easily classification and subject tagging. AI technologies, they also assist in duplicate detection, identify and it merges repetitive records in cataloging systems, which streamlines data management and maintains the integrity of library. So the role of AI, specifically in cataloging, is that it generates automatic metadata, it extracts bibliographic data, bibliographic data from documents, it reduces human error, and it is faster in cataloging record creation. I happen to be in one of the webinars that was organized last year for librarians. It was a cross-border webinar training. So one of the speakers was saying how, because of the process of cataloging, how tedious it was, that at a point she was even pregnant and she lost her pregnancy. That really stuck with me, that it means that this process is really tedious. And if we have something, if we have this application that could help us to reduce the weight of the workload, why not embrace it? So the role of artificial intelligence in classification also, it analyzes book content, it suggests subject categories automatically. It uses keywords, abstracts, and text mining. It assigns classification numbers based on patterns. So it is highly beneficial because it saves time, it increases efficiency, it reduces workload for us librarians, and it improves our accuracy. It handles large volume of data, and it supports digital libraries and repositories. So I was trying to check that how long does it take for a library to acquire books to process? For some libraries, it may take months before a book will get to the shelf. But now with AI, even within 2 weeks, we can catalog, we can classify, and the books will already be on the shelf. So today we are looking at these tools that can be used. And OCLC introduced some tools in last year. They introduced Word Share Record Manager and Connection. So these do not stand alone like the way ChatGPT would. or other AI chatbot because they are built directly into cataloging workflows and they are not really free. For WordShare Record Manager, an organization must have to subscribe to it so that librarians and other people can have access to it. However, artificial intelligence is here for us. But well, of course, we know that if you want to really enjoy artificial intelligence, most especially ChatGPT, it is good to subscribe to it. So the core reason why we are here is ChatGPT. Today, we are looking at ChatGPT. It's this AI tool that will support technical processes. So what does it do specifically? It extracts bibliographic details from book
Go
information.
ahead, please.
It formats records using RDA. It generates standard cataloging entries. It suggests subject headings using Library of Congress, for example, subject heading. Then it generates quota numbers for authors and titles. It controls complete call numbers. It creates Mark 21 records. It writes annotations or summaries. These are the work that would take us time in the library. Then it assists in copying, cataloging, that is, you can use records that have been existing already. Then one of the things it does is that it identifies missing or inconsistent metadata. Imagine that there is a book now that was published and this book does not have ISBN. AI will help you. By the time that you're trying to classify and before you even go far, you would know that this book, there is no ISBN. So before we dive into the practical for today, the main thing, I want us to look at the challenges because this AI has a lot of benefits, but however, it poses some challenges. One of it is high cost of implementation, for sure. Like I've said, in this generation right now, if you want to enjoy anything, you must subscribe. I kept saying that we just thank God that the air we breathe, we don't have to subscribe to it. But for efficiency, if you want to be efficient or you want to have the best ability of these tools, you have to subscribe. So then it lacks technical skills among librarians. There's data quality issues. There's dependency on training data. There's risks of classification errors. And there's limited infrastructure in some libraries. So these challenges is trying to tell us that AI is not here to replace us, but it is here to help our work to move faster. It does not take away the place of the librarian. AI is here to serve us. We are not here to serve AI. So it is not replacing us. And even if we decide to imbibe the use of artificial intelligence in cataloging and classification, there is also need for experts. There's also need for quality issues that you have to go and check and cross-check because AI can be biased sometimes. It will just generate information based on what it feels like. So now we are going into practicals. So there are different promptings to use while cataloging. These promptings helps. It can be step by step. It can be at once. For example, now, if I want to catalog a book and I write, create a cataloging record using Library of Congress standards for the book, I'll write the title of the book. So we are going to go into practicals now. I'm going to ChatGPT. You can also join me to open your ChatGPT. I hope we are here with me. So
Yes.
I have a physical book here. There are different ways that I can do this. I can actually snap the copyright page of any book, upload it to AI, and query it. And AI will give me every information that I need. But before we do that, let's try and query. If you have any book, for those who are here with their books, I want you to write this query. Create a cataloging record using Library of Congress standard. using Library of Congress standards for the book. Okay, now I'm going to type the title of the book that I have here. Family Man. Family Man. The biography of Dr. James Dobson. Now by the author now, Dele Boss. This book was written in 2005. Can we see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, thank you. So this is the bibliographic record of this book. And right now I am confirming it because the book is here with me. The publication information is correct. ISBN. The ISBN is incorrect. You can see it is already giving me Mark 21 format for this book. So this is where your own professionalism will come into play. Because like we've said, AI can be biased. All these other information are correct. However, the physical description are incorrect. The preliminary pages are they are 10, but we can see that AI is writing more than that. The pages of the book are more than 302. So this is just the prompt one. If we are going to look at it going on, generate a complete bibliographic record following RDA. We can see that the next prompt is supposed to be Mark format, but AI has provided it already. So I'm going to go on. Generate a complete bibliographic record following RDA. So now suggest appropriate Library of Congress subject headings for this book. So now look at the topical subject headings that AI is suggesting for this book. This is a religious book, and it's talking about biography. We can see it. Christian leaders, family religious aspect. So, like we said, AI will only suggest. So you will use your own professionalism to class it under the right subject heading. The last one, quality check. Say review this record. Review this record for missing or inconsistent data using the CLC we are using, standards. So you say, here is a careful LC quality review of your bibliographic record. I will point out gaps, inconsistencies, and corrections so your record aligns properly with the Library of Congress standards. 1, responsibility issue. It's acceptable. We can see it. 2, the main entry, likely correct, but needs authority control verification. Publication statements, issue, correction. They need correction. Then physical description now. Acceptable. AI will still tell you, ensure internal consistency across catalog. So it is ensuring this. Then the content media carrier types. We are seeing the issue. Correctly included text. Then now, missing mark fields. These are the missing mark fields. Then issue again. ISBN. The ISBN, they are 10GD, they are correct. However, the number is incorrect. You can see the AI is still biased about it. Note field. Access points. Status. They are telling us that this access point needs authority control confirmation. Classification number is appropriate. So this is how we'll be able to catalog. Then the next one is prompts to use for classification. We have already seen the demonstration of some of them here, talking about the subject heading, analyzing the book and assigning a suitable classification number using either Dewey Decimal Classification or Library of Congress, depending on your type of library. Then the quarter number, then the core number. However, instead of prompting AI one after the other, we can also do it at once, because this would also take a lot of time. The same time we are trying to save, we are going to follow it in this mode. It is still going to take time. However, I need to take us through so that we'll just see. So before we get there, I want to practicalize something else. So if you have a book that you want to catalog and classify, the most easiest way to do it is to just take a shot that snap the copyright page of that book. And before you know, now I'm going to use a different book, not the first one. Using the provided book details. Catalog and classify this book. Now we are seeing this information that AI is bringing out is very correct. Is very correct. It was published in New York. Very correct. The copyright statement is just Mayer. Very correct. Now, talking about the extent, not specified. Why? Because I took only a shot of the copyright page. So there is still need for the librarian's effort, even though AI is helping the work to be faster. Look at the comments. You must check the book physically to complete pagination and size. Content type, ISBN. ISBN is very correct. Then the notes now. Everything you need about a book. Now it's talking about subject headings. Since the exact title is missing, subject headings are inferred based on the author's common themes. So this is Christian life, spiritual life, Christianity, and this is a book talking about knowing God intimately. So that is where your expertise also coming as a librarian. So now you can see that it has already been classified. It has already been given quarter number. AI is even suggesting both LC and DDC in case the Mark 21 number is already out. So now, important cataloging observations. They are now saying title is missing, pagination and size are missing. Subject headings may need adjustment depending on actual title and content. Now, AI is giving final verdict. Your page provides publication ISBN, but it is not sufficient alone for full cataloging. You still need title page count, book size. So we are seeing that AI is going to help us a lot, but it doesn't mean that our effort is not needed anymore. So we have furthermore promptings. For example, if you have a book, you only remember the author's name and the title, but you cannot remember other things about that book. So there are other prompts that you can use. Look at this number 2. Say, using the author and title provided, generate a standard bibliographic record following RDA. So, or any of the standard you are using. So let's try and look for a book which I don't have physically here, which I know is existing, which is one of my favorite research books written by Saunders et al. So it's research methods for business students by Saunders et al. Okay, he has revised this book severally. Let's use the latest edition. Okay, the prompt now is going to be generate a standard bibliographic record following RDA. Sorry, I kept using RDA because this is the most prevalent cataloging. That is why most libraries have adopted RDA because of the technology embedded in it. And that is why I am using it today mostly for the examples here. So generate a standard bibliographic record following RDA and suggest subject headings using LC and let's say and DDC. For the book research. Okay, so we are already seeing AI bringing out all the necessary information about this book. Properly, I use Saunders et al. And you can see in the statement of responsibility, the names of the added authors are there. And the book it is in its 9th edition. That is very correct. It's very correct. Then the publisher is very correct too. We are seeing, okay, now this extent now is showing us 800 here. So let's see. I think I have that book here. This is it. Saunders et al. We are seeing that it's 888 pages. AI is saying 800 plus pages, which is very accurate. So that plus, you'll be the one that will have to verify it. So the series statements, not applicable. The notes, the ISBN, and everything else. So now, you know, in the prompt, we asked AI to suggest some subject headings using Library of Congress or DDC. So we have business research methodology, management research methodology, social sciences, and this book is talking about research for business students. So we are seeing that the first one is business research methodology. So depending on your discretion as a professional, you will know the right class to class this book so that it will not be missing. We already have the classification number here provided. It also went ahead to give us that of DDC. So moving on, we are going to be looking at some dealing with bias in AI and in classification and cataloging. So we have to be aware that AI may reflect biases in training. We have to review the subject headings for cultural or regional biases. For example, a book that is published in Africa, and they can just place it, AI can just place it anywhere, can just displace it where it will not even be seen. So one of the bias that is we should dealing with that bias is use standard tools like Library of Congress subject headings critically and carefully. Then one of the ways to deal with this bias again is to cross-check with authoritative sources and to apply professional judgment to ensure fair and accurate representation, and to adapt cataloging decisions that will reflect even local contents and diversity. So still dealing with these biases, we have an example here. I was trying to say that a book about African traditional medicine and healing practices. You see, AI input may offer potential bias as follows. Maybe now the subject heading would be primitive medicine. It would be superstitions, Africa, or magic healing. However, that will make it so vague and hidden. So the correct heading should be at least traditional medicine, Africa, healing practices, but the word superstitions make it look so vague. So the problem here is that AI uses outdated and biased terms. It misrepresents indigenous knowledge, and then it reflects historical bias in this data. So this example shows us that AI can inherit bias from existing data and suggest inappropriate subject headings. So it is the responsibility of the librarian to review and ensure accurate and respectful representation, most especially of our culture in Africa. So there are a lot of prompts to detect biases, because even when you see the output, you will know that there is bias in this output. So one of the prompts that you can use is to say, evaluate and revise these subject headings to remove bias and ensure cultural sensitivity. Then align all terms with Library of Congress headings or DDC and reflect the correct context of the material, because if the correct context is not reflected, then the work you are doing is null and void. Also, we can tell you to review these subject headings and identify any biased, outdated, or culturally inappropriate terms, so it can be aligned with the correct headings. So, in conclusion, AI is a powerful tool in cataloging and classification, but professional judgment remains essential for accuracy and quality control. Thank you so much for listening.
Wow, thank you so much, our facilitator, for the training. We sincerely appreciate your time and effort in putting this together. I want to ask, is there anyone that has been able to catalog the physical book or a virtual book that would want to share his or her experience? We are now in the question and answer session, including comments. If there's anybody that would like to say something, please raise your hand and I would invite you to say something. All right. So while we wait for that, I'll go to the comment section to read. There have been some comments. First, there's an attendance sheet for those that are on the call. And if you're interested in getting a certificate, you can click and then indicate, or at least let us get your data to contact you in case of any future trainings. Then I have a comment from Olabisi. Olabisi is saying that it's a nice presentation, but there's also another one called Bib Frame. And then Larry Tech is saying that he appreciates the facilitator and the host. And then he said he feels AI is helping every field currently, but using general AI can be catastrophic. Hence, what librarians should be doing now is to develop our own AI platforms that are library specific. That's a good one. That would provide more accurate machine learning on library specific tasks. Thank you, Larry Tech. And then Olabisi is also saying there's a library solution that can help check AI mark record against the Library of Congress subject headings. And then Emmanuel is saying that he thinks that using AI prompts is the major issue. And I absolutely agree with that. Irrespective of the platform that you are using, whether a general AI or a library-specific AI, your prompt will determine the quality of responses that you get. And then this brings me to say that as part of fighting biases in AI, we also need to consider where we publish our books. We need to consider opening up our publications, not just journal articles, but also books, so that when this AI wants to generate responses, at least they should be able to have access to some of the books that are specific to us in Africa. Okay, and then limit this kind of bias, because bias comes when either intentionally or unintentionally AI keeps removing content from Africa or from Nigeria. One might be because of intentional bias, and the other unintentional bias might be as a result of closed access to our book publications in Africa. Okay, so someone is asking of attendance sheet is there. It's on the platform. I'll share it once again. Like I said, we are going to share the recording with everyone. So let me go back to all right, I would invite, I have 4 hands up. Okay. Let's look for them. Okay, I will invite Jamil to please say something. Jamil, thank you very much. Please unmute. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. That was a great presentation. So speaking of the biases, like you alluded to, and someone also just raised, it's a huge deal, and which is kind of like understandable, right? Like, because a lot of these models are not trained based on our data. So the question I wanted to ask is, it's a known problem and we know it. Then do you guys have an idea of the ongoing work that is probably been done to kind of like reduce the biases? So that's my
Okay.
question. Yeah.
Okay. So the facilitator, please note the question. Are you aware of any ongoing work that can help limit the bias that you identified? Thank you so much. Dr.
Okay, ma.
Obin. All right. Dr. Obin, your question
Okay,
or
thank
comment.
you.
Mhm.
Oh, my own is a question actually. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I want to appreciate the host. I want to appreciate the presenter. That was a good one. Okay, now so my question is, cataloging books is that one is a normal thing, okay, but whereby like I teach the audiovisual librarianship, you want to catalog audiovisual materials. So most times it's not the same way we catalog books. So can you I don't know, maybe time and everything might be not be there for us. Take us through how to catalog audiovisual materials as well. Because they're part of our
Okay,
library.
thank you.
Okay.
All right. It's okay. Thank you, Doc. Facilitator, Dr. Obim wants to know how to catalog audiovisual materials using artificial intelligence, because audiovisual material is part of our collections in the library, including e-resources. So how do you catalog audiovisual material? That's the second question. Larry Tech, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, good evening. My question is, the speaker has actually spoken something about that. Is these biases? What can we do about these biases? Because even the practical that just took place, we had about 80%. He said it's about 80% accurate, and even the AI will tell you that it is not very accurate. There's always a notification beneath it. So what do? We cannot rely on it 100%. So that's my question. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Larry Tech. I think the question is also following the first question, but then he is also asking that how can we manage this bias in AI? Yeah, please. I think you answered that with the first question that asked about ongoing efforts to limit bias in prompting and in using AI. All right, so the last hand, Emmanuel Kowe. Please go ahead. Emmanuel.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead, please.
Yes. My question is, we have locally, we have local authors that they produce book. You find some of those books does not even have ISBN number and does not have complete bibliographic details. How do we get those books to to comply with the international standard and make them that can be accessed internationally? Because there are so many books
Okay,
where I
sorry,
work.
Emmanuel, I'm not sure I got your question. You want to know how books without ISBN and incomplete
We have,
bibliographic
we have to,
details, how do you, go
yeah.
ahead, sir.
How do we get those books? The, those books known internationally, because there are many local authors produce books, they bring them to the library. You don't have those details. How do we confine that issue?
Okay.
That's
All
the
right. Thank you
question.
very much, Mr. Emmanuel. The facilitator, did you get the question? He wants to know how to increase the quality of books, especially books that are written by local authors and that they are usually without ISBN and some other bibliographic details. How do you help to improve on the quality so that they can also compete favorably with international standards? Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. Olabisi. Olabisi, your question, please, or comment.
So, good evening, everybody.
Good
Thank you for
evening.
presentation and also to the host. I want to appreciate this opportunity. Okay, my contribution is just on some of the issues that have been raised, and I follow some of those issues. And I'm going to be starting from the last issue that was raised about local content, local authors. I think, and that is why even if you are using AI, there's a place you can also, in form of snap or take pictures of some of the content, like the table of contents of the book you want to catalog, or even the title page. There are some AI that you can prompt and you get these pages uploaded, and you prompt the AI to generate the mark record. And no matter how you prompt AI, the place of human factor will also have to come in. You can't just
Yeah.
leave everything to AI to give you the mark record. There will still be some kind of confidence level in a way. So the place of human should also come in. And we have some different solutions now available online there that they've been able to incorporate some of these standards, like the Library of Congress subject headings and the likes. So for whatever results AI generate for you, to be able to check it vis-a-vis the available standard like the Library of Congress and some other authority file. So it's an ongoing research work, and it's going to continue to improve. So for every of the tool you are using, you also need to ensure that the human factor is put into consideration. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Olabisi. Mr. Olabisi is a librarian from the Nile University of Nigeria. He is also a cataloger. Thank you so much. And I'm happy to hear that there are some solutions developed in that area. I think it's partially answering the questions from the first participant, the first person that asked the question about solutions around limiting biases. Okay, so Mr. Tega, please, your question or comment or observation, please go ahead. Tega, we cannot hear you.
Hello.
Okay, while we wait for, okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, Martha, for your presentation. Thank you, Dr. Fatima, for this opportunity. So I have a question. I just need clarity. Some time ago, we were using OCLC to generate records, cataloging records for certain books when we were cataloging. And we discovered that, some of the books, when you open the copyright page, you see there's a class mark already written from the publisher already,
Yeah.
that has been catalog. I would call that
Yes.
some of the information and that of OCLC were not accurate, like there were some variations. Now, I also checked just now while she was trying to do the training, or that I used ChatGPT on that AI platform to check, and I noticed the same variation. So it's like saying a particular book has different information, almost similar, but there are variations in those information. Now, in issues of cases like this, which information do you rely on? If you do traditional cataloging, definitely you should get your own information. But if you use AI or use OCLC and there are variations, in this case, humans can be biased also. Let's not forget that. We know AI, but humans can also be biased. So in this case, which is the authority? Okay, let's use the word authority. Which one do we use? Because if I'm cataloging, for example, and it's my favorite author, I might be biased to use what I did. Do you get? And say my own is correct. Meanwhile, OCLC might give me something that is more accurate. Meanwhile, the author himself or the publishers might actually give you a more accurate one. So my question is the same cataloging scheme and calculation scheme rather, but there's little variation. At that point, which one do you go for? That's my question.
This is interesting. I love the I love this question. I'm sure a lot of people would want to say something probably to answer that, because I'm seeing more hands up. Okay, so please, if you would like to respond to any of the questions, please go ahead. Let me call HP. I'm not seeing the name. I'm only seeing the name of your device. So HP, please ask your question quickly so that we allow the facilitator to answer some of the questions. All right,
All
HP.
right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, librarian and the presenter. I really appreciate this conference. It's an eye-opening. I am learning so many new things in the midst of Liberian. So thank you very much. Please, my name is Dr. Jacob Ewutanure from Department of Fisheries and Aquaculture, NMU, Nigeria Maritime University. Please, my question goes thus. Like one of the participants has rightly said, that what is being done concerning people, writers that are writing books that are not online. So I also want to told the same part, because there are some writers, they have books, but their books are not online. And they are writing and they are writing. What is is there anything the library, I don't know if there's a Library Association of Nigeria or Liberian, I don't know how you guys call it. What is being done to bring those categories of writers on board so that we can access their work online? That's my question.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Jiko. So we'll take the last one.
Yes,
Innocent Onuko. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry if I murdered your name. Innocent, please go ahead. Innocent. Okay, so I guess we lost that. All right. So before we take more questions, I would want to respond to this
Hello.
the question that keeps coming up. Who is this?
Hello.
Is this Innocent? Okay, Innocent,
Yes,
go
yes.
ahead. Go ahead quickly, sir.
Please, this is Innocent from Nigeria Maritime University, Department of Industrial Chemistry. Please, I have a little problem with the issue of bias. AI is something that uses a very vast amount of data, and most of these data or most of this AI we use, they are trained with foreign data, and a lot of our local data have not been
Content.
incorporated, yes, in AI, and I think that may be one of the issues we are having with incorporation of these AI. Because if you look at there are some books I have authored, but I don't think I can definitely find them in AI, because I believe they should be, because if we have ISBN number, I believe each ISBN number is a national, is incorporated national copyright number like that. So I believe it should have a link whereby we can have these ISBN numbers incorporated, whereby anything you want to search, maybe in Nigeria or something, and it has ISBN number, the AI will be able to, pull out these works that have been, incorporated with this ISBN number, and then these data can also be incorporated, so that the issues of this bias and the rest of them will be solved. So I think this is just a comment I want to make on this, so that if we're actually doing this, we should recommend these methods, so that whoever that is going into training some of these AI tools, chatbots, and so on, can incorporate these numbers, so the issue of
Okay.
bias can be reduced. So that's my own comment. Thank
Absolutely.
you. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you,
the
Dr. Innocent.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love that insight. Thank you so much. So I would call the last person, Techno BF7. Sorry, I think that's the device name. I don't know who the person is. Okay, so Techno, the last question. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the lecture, very insightful and well organized. My name is Dr. Phyllis Ogbeyulu Mahole from the Department of Maritime Economics and Finance, Nigeria Maritime University. I just have a reservation. Let me just elite, let's see if we can actually find a solution to it. This AI, does he really does AI really give the far right up in terms of a project? If so, how do you marry the AI technology, artificial intelligence, with the current reality in terms of project work? I was in a certain university where they were doing a defense, and they asked the PhD student, did you adopt use AI? And he said yes. But after the defense, the supervisor said, no, you have said so. So can AI give proper research? And if you look at most of our students, they just go online, go the topic. They start packing, left and right together. So how will you people, those in the library, so to say, ensure that some of these things are minimized? That students just go online, pack all AI, center, left, and right, and you don't even see headway. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. So over to our facilitator. Please, we need you to respond to some of the questions. Then we'll leave the floor open in case anyone would also want to add. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I want to begin with the last question. So the way AI has come to stay, that's one thing I always tell people. This is a disruptive technology that has happened since in the 80s. It is now that it has come to bear, like we are feeling it. Before it was far-fetched. And there is nothing that we can really do about this generation using AI other than teaching them the ethical use of AI. Sir, I believe you're a lecturer. There's a lecturer that a student submitted an assignment to with the footnote of AI saying, ChatGPT can make mistake. Make sure you verify with other sources. So it is really a big issue because it has, in a way, made some students to be lazy. But as for those who understands the aim of AI, that it is not here to just take away your critical thinking, but to enhance your work. So that is what we should do right now. Organize trainings and also teach students the tenets in research, because in the academics, we usually leave this behind. I used to say that most times you see undergraduate students, they don't teach them how to do research. Then when you now get to your master's level, research will now be like a hook on your neck. So the university should also make it a way that they make students feel interested in conducting researches. And by that, it can reduce that reliance on AI completely. So AI has come to stay, but the main message here now is ethical use of AI. AI itself will tell you that AI can make mistakes sometimes, verify with resources. Oh yes, AI can make a standard research work, depending on how you can query AI. So it is all about query. AI can give relevant resources, it can give relevant references, it can give even journals title. So it is now dependent on if the person using this AI has that knowledge of ethical use of AI, not to be dependent on it. For example, when I was writing my thesis, after I got my topic, I put it on AI and asked AI, analyze what do you think that this study would look like? And AI gave me some ideas, which I didn't just pick just from AI. I had to go to research written by human beings. They have gone through a lot to write. They have gone through a lot to search. Imagine in years back that you have to travel from one village to another to gather data, to gather resources, and then you put it out, and students are not reading it now because they have AI. So I understand why it would be a problem for many academics. But however, in our own way, we should try and encourage students to use AI ethically, because if we tell them not to use AI, we know that it is not going to happen. So the next one is about the biases. while I was speaking, I talked about the AI-powered cataloging tools that was introduced by OCLC. That was just last year in December. So you see, this issue of bias, we are not the only ones thinking about it. We are not the only ones feeling the heat. So OCLC has sat and thought, what should we do? And we didn't really dive into that because that is not what we are focusing today. So I gave an example of what share record manager that OCLC have created. So it makes cataloging faster, smarter, and more efficient. And the AI features are integrated in automatic suggestion, just like the way we use ChatGPT, but it's just like it is not standing on its own. It is embedded in the OCLC workcard. So this is another whole training on its own if we are going to go about that. But from the videos and the practicals that I've seen about that very cataloging tool, that's the World Share Record and Connection, I've seen that it is very possible because you can duplicate data for an existing record. So it helps a lot. However, universities have to subscribe to it, like I said, just like other like ResearchGate. So they have to subscribe to it so that staff and students will be able to log in through the university details. So, and another thing again about this bias, when you were asking, when you all were talking about it, the first thing that came to my mind was, if we have a certain book in a library in FUT Mina, we have that same book in a library in University of Abuja, we have that same book in the library in NMU library, and now going around to check the cataloging of that book, the quota number, do we think that it will be the same? I need an answer, please. Do we think that the records will be very same, like will be exact for every library for a very particular book? I don't really think so. And that was what Mr. Confidence was saying, that even human, we are biased also. So how much more AI that is programmed to serve us? The biasness is starting from us and the algorithm that was used to program it. And that is why it will be biased. He also mentioned that one of the participants mentioned that these algorithms are used, the words and the terms they are used for, they are used by like the Western languages. So they don't really imbibe Africa. That is why it should be biased. So one of the key things that I can say right now that would be able to reduce the bias in AI is that as far as we are using it, we should also employ our expertise in what we are doing. Let's not take what AI is saying hook, line, and sinker. Okay, for example, now, I have a book titled Crime. That's just the title, Crime. And we know that there's criminology. Crime can go into criminology. We know that crime can go into cybersecurity as a subject or as a topic or as a title. So now, if I just come and say, AI, catalog this book, classify this book, crime, by so and so in so year, AI would naturally want to either place it in criminology or place it in cybersecurity. So now, after the prompt comes out, I will be like, no, this book is not a title under cybersecurity. It is a title under criminology. And AI will give his language, sorry, I thought it was this or that. Then let me do the right thing. So we are saying that we can still be able to control this bias that is being brought by artificial intelligence. So the next question that I can remember, it's the one that talked about if we can use AI to catalog and classify audiovisual materials. Of course, it is very, very possible as long as that particular material has the major information about it. One of the major information you need is the title, the author, the year. So just like the way we have prompted AI now, please, I'll employ you to just, after maybe this slide is being shared, just use any of the prompts and use it for your audiovisual material. And you will see that it will give you probably either exactly or very close to. That's why we say AI only suggests. And if now I'm going to give one particular title for a book and author, and I'll ask all of us here to use our ChatGPT to query it. I can tell you that the results we are going to get would not be as exact, but it will not be far-fetched. So that is another way that would be able to, look at it, to be able to reduce this bias by ourselves. So somebody talked about, I think he talked about local books, something like that. How to make our visibility.
Yes, how to ensure that our local books meet up with international standards. Books written by local authors.
Oh, okay. So these books are already written, right? It's not as if, and probably the authors are not even, probably maybe they are not even alive, right? And these titles that they have written, anytime I'm making a study and I see a study of 1990, I'll be like, this knowledge is still relevant, but it's just that some of it may be outdated. So one of the best way is to begin to revise those books that I'm thinking right now, because a book that is already out of date, a book that does not even have ISBN number. Like I was saying initially, that how would I search for a book and there's no ISBN number? There's inconsistency in data generation. So this kind of book, even AI will not even want to give you the right information, because some of the information that are very important are missing. So I think that there should be editorial and peer review support. Our host here, she's one of the persons in Nigeria that are always advocating for open access and the rest. And if these books are made available as open access resources, before you know, I believe that their publicity, they will go out. So we should have editorial support. We should add peer review support. And also, let's also encourage capacity building for local authors and publishers, because some authors have remained redundant. They are not moving with the tides. If there is any disruptive innovation and anybody is not moving with that tide, that person would remain where he is, while others are going far. So capacity building, very important. And for authors that have written books that they've seen that their books are just in one archives and are dusty, so that knowledge is not wasted. One of the best ways is to revise that book. And before you know, it begins to sell out. Revise it with the most prevalent happenings, things that are going on right now that would interest and that would pique the interest of researchers all over the world. So I think these are the questions that I can really remember. But I think you have asked much more.
Thank you so much. You have tried to cover all the question, and then we have more comments here. But I'm not sure we answered the first one by Mr. Jamil. He wants to know if there are solutions, apart from, you answered that. You said humans will also have to do better to limit the bias in AI. But then he wants to know if there are solutions that are specifically tailored to limiting biases when using AI for cataloging and classification. So I'm seeing some comments here. I have a comment saying that librarians are currently working on developing platforms that are library specific, with the intention of limiting this kind of bias. It's a research, an ongoing research, but a completed solution, I'm not sure, I'm not aware of any, but if anyone can speak to that, please feel free to raise your hand so that you can share that kind of solutions with us. And then there's also another comment from Victor Damut. And Victor is saying that the cataloger has the final ability to complete the judgment, and that we should not forget to verify our work using two tools which are very important. The first tool is the online Library of Congress subject heading, which we all, the librarians, need to learn how to use them. The facilitator used LCSH while she was making her presentation. And then there's also a platform called Cataloging Generator that helps to settle on one judgment for a book. Okay, so that's another one, Cataloging Generator. And then number 3, I'm reading from Victor Damout's comment. Number 3, local writers should be encouraged to embrace publishing in well-known publishing platforms. Permits me to add this to this comment, that local writers should be encouraged to embrace open access publishing in well-known open publishing platforms. Yes. Then number 4, ISBN is now online. National Library of Nigeria made that possible. In fact, Nigeria this year was ranked 4th in generating ISBN. This is good news from the National Library of Nigeria. And for those that are not librarians, ISBN is like your matric number, like it's a unique ID that identifies books. Okay, so if a book does not have an ISBN, like someone asked, then we as librarians we are not supposed to acquire. We don't acquire books without ISBN, because that's the first identity that uniquely identifies the book. Then in addition to ISBN, for a book to be visible and you want it to be on open access platform, for instance, DOAB. DOAB is the Directory of Open Access Books that ensures that books that are published are visible. People can see and then they can use with no restriction. And then appropriate copy Creative Commons licenses will be invoked on the book that allows reuse, reshare, and all that. Now, another thing they consider before a book is accepted on that platform is the peer review. Very important. It's not enough to use ChatGPT to generate chapter 1 to 20, and then you have your 200 pages and you call it a book. So you must be able to show the peer review processes, your interaction with the peer reviewers, the back and forth, the corrections. And then the third thing is the plagiarism check. Very important. Okay, you must also show evidence of plagiarism check. They want to know that you are not copying someone else's work and claiming it as your own. Then in addition to that, there are other identity management systems that ensures visibility, discoverability, and uniqueness. And that is the digital object identifiers, that's DOI. Now, chapters in a book, you can assign individual DOI to chapters in a book, and the whole book as one can also have its own DOI. So DOI ensures that the book can be resolved across systems that are online. So, and then this is a call for librarians on the need for us to come together to be able to get all these identifiers and attach them to books that are being published from our institutions. And then another thing is the training, the need for training and capacity building. This is a very big role for librarians. We need to continuously build capacity of our local authors. Let us tell them about ISBN. Let our university library subscribe, get a pool of ISBN, 10, 100, 1,000, depending on how well your authors are writing books. Okay, so that when they come to us for ISBN, we have it readily available. We assign ISBN, we advise them on where to publish, and also we encourage the purchasing of DOI from Crossref or from data sites, and then, so that whatever is coming out of our institution, our local authors, they are being seen, our work is being seen online. And when AI is doing its work of crawling through systems, trying to generate information to catalog or classify a book, the books from Nigeria, from our local authors, will also be captured because they are being listed on several these other platforms. They are on DOI, the Crossref will pick it, even your ORCID. Your ORCID is your personal identifier as an author, your ORC ID. It is very important that you have that, so that whenever you're publishing your book, you also attach that. And then that would be captured under your name. When AI is crawling, looking for data to classify, catalog your book, you are there. As an author, there's an identifier for the book, there is an ISBN, and then you put it on DOAB that is globally visible. Your book will definitely be captured. So I guess we are going to organize another training session on how to grant visibility to local books, specifically to books from our institutions, from Nigeria, from our local authors. All right. So thank you very much. Okay, there's another comment here from Olabisi. Olabisi is suggesting that we can also check out catandclass.com to see how AI has been integrated to cataloging and classification. And that platform shows the confidence level of every AI generated mark record. Okay, so this is another solution. Librarians are now coming up with examples of solutions to answer the question from Mr. Jamil on existing solutions to bias in AI. Then Dr. Innocent wants to know that can university libraries provide ISBN for academics? Yes, that is actually one of our very an important role, that libraries are performing. We help authors to get ISBN. We apply to the National Library and then we get these numbers. And the Nigerian Maritime University Library, we also have our ISBN, which we got from the National Library of Nigeria. So all you have to do is to walk to your library, meet with your librarian, go with your book, ensure that the book has been peer reviewed, it is free of plagiarism, okay, and then we help you to get an ISBN attached to the title of your book. All right. So we're coming to the end of this, but I still have some comments. I would quickly go through them. Someone is saying that to effectively use AI and get meaningful results, you need to use good prompts. So his question is, what specific skills do librarians need to develop in order to design effective prompts for AI tools and get accurate cataloging and classification results? Okay, I will give a facilitator just 30 seconds to answer this. He wants to know the specific skills that librarians need to develop in order to design effective prompts for AI tools. Then Ogola Daniel wants to know the importance of data generated from AI. Okay, that's a very wide question, but the facilitator will also respond that what exactly is the importance of data generated from AI. Okay, so and then we have a final one from Mr. Victor. He wants to know, I guess this is directed to me. He said PhD students are using ChatGPT as assistive technology, not a dependable tool. Yeah, some PhD students actually that knows what they are doing. Most of them are using it as a dependable tool, not assistive. Okay, so Mr. Victor is also asking and suggesting that one, AI helps to pull out a lot of journals and articles that might take 1 month searching for them. True. And also AI helps in organizing data faster and generates easy presentation, helps your presentation. And then it also helps to fine tune your language since English is not our normal mother language. Yeah. And then optimally, we need to learn and teach plagiarism checks. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. But I think to reduce the dependency of PhD student, or let's say postgraduate student, and even undergraduate student generally on AI, like the facilitator said, we can not stop them from using AI. We can only control the way they use it. One thing that universities are doing is to come up with AI policy. Okay, the AI policy is ratified by Senate, so it's binding on all students, either undergraduate or postgraduate. And in the policy, one key component of that policy is for you to be transparent in your use of AI. And then there are also restrictions on the part of your research work that you are not allowed to use AI. Okay, for instance, if you are doing your chapter 1, where you need a lot of background studies to properly situate your research, your problem statements in the available existing research, you can use AI at that point. Okay. But then your chapter 2, yes, you can to get, like Mr. Victor mentioned, to pull out journals, articles, book publications, and all that. Yes, AI, but then you need to tell us the type of AI. I got my chapter 1 from ChatGPT using this prompt like that, be transparent. But in your data generation, you are not allowed to use AI. Of course, you cannot ask AI to fill your questionnaire, strongly agree or strongly disagree for you. Okay, so that part you are not allowed. You need to actually interact with humans to get data. And then in your data analysis, there's a kind of a divided opinion whether you should use AI for analyzing data or you do use normal software analysis tools. Okay, so in the AI policy, institutions are defining what part of the research work AI you are allowed to use AI, the part you are not allowed to use AI, and then how to declare the use of AI in your work. And I think that's a good thing, because we know we cannot stop students from using it. We can only guide them and ensure that they use it ethically. Okay, thank you so much. In 2 minutes, please, facilitator, quickly respond to the 2 questions that I read earlier, please. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, ma. So the first person was asking for the skills that librarians need to develop to be able to use AI efficiently. So the use of AI, actually, it is not just technical. It is a combination of your expertise, your critical thinking. So we need to master this skill. As a librarian that have worked in the library for years, even if it is just for months, you have been in this and you already understand some patterns of cataloging and classification. So your critical thinking now, by the time that this AI is giving you something, I gave example with crime, and you are saying that no, it shouldn't belong here. So that is where your own critical thinking would come in. That is one of the skills that we need to imbibe in using AI. We should know that we can't rely on it 100%, because it is just there to assist and to ease the work, but not to take charge completely. So one of it is critical thinking and the use of your expertise. Let's not be lackadaisical and just allow AI to do everything. That is when it will give us what it wants to give. And by the end of the day, our work will not be okay as it's supposed to be. So that critical evaluation skills is very, very needful. Then there's this awareness that once you are aware of something, like once you have discovered that this is a problem, automatically solution has come. Since we have discovered that AI can be biased, so we already know that we have this awareness, and therefore we need to have control over it. That is one of that skill, because so many people don't, like these undergraduate students and other students that we're talking about, they don't understand that AI is just here to assist them. They feel that AI is here to take off the workload. And that is why they are not aware, and that is why they could use it without thinking twice, without verifying information. AI that can lie very well. AI can give you reference. AI can coin even DOI for a work that is not existing. Even format it in APA style and to be looking presentable. So awareness is there. Very, very critical that we are aware of what we are using. We are aware that this thing can fumble, and we are aware that we need to cross-check every information that it gives us. So I think that these are the skills that we must know. And also the knowledge of standard, like cataloging standards and metadata framework. As a librarian, you should be, at any point that you are being asked about a work now, okay, this is a book that is written by a Christian knowledge book, for example, where should it belong in the library? At least, even without checking your tools for cataloging and classification tools, you should be able to have that standard metadata framework like instilled in us, because this is the core of librarianship. So, Ma, the second question, please.
Someone wants to know data management. How do you manage data using AI? Importance of data management using AI.
Data management now, like the data we acquire, like for research.
Okay, and then there's another one. Sorry, that what specific skills do librarians need to develop in order to design effective prompts for AI tools?
Okay, so these skills, there's this word that we always say, practice make perfect. If you are not in a space where you use AI for cataloging, there is no how that you'll be able to master these skills. So one of the things is practice. Even if the library you are working in believes in AI or not, you on your own can begin to practice. And that is how you'll be able to understand. For someone who has been doing this for a while now, by the time that AI is giving you, after you've prompted AI and it's giving you a wrong data, you'll be able to figure out that this thing is not right. So one of the standard skills that you need is to always practice on how to use. And then someone is asking question on promptings. Promptings are very, very important because there's a way you can use it instead of is, and it can be able to change your whole prompt and give you a different result. So understanding promptings also matters. You can also query the AI itself and say, AI, give me prompts to catalog and classify this book, to have data consistency, to have correct bibliographic details. The same AI will also give you that query and that prompt to use. So someone said it in the comment that the most prevalent thing here is promptings. If you know how to prompt AI, that is why people that understand how to use AI, they can use AI to write a full body of research, and a supervisor may not detect it. The voice may not be loud because they understand how to use it, and it's through the prompt. So this prompt is very, very crucial that we get to understand, and we can prompt AI to give us the right prompt to use. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much. Someone, Mr. Victor is also adding, in addition to your response, Mr. Victor is saying that some of the skills we need to improve our prompting as librarians is you need to be very good with instruction writing, because they're actually giving instruction to the AI, so clear prompting with very good instruction writing. And then information evaluation skills, like the facilitator mentioned, is very important that you know how to evaluate information. Is this correct? Is this not? I mean, whether the information, the answers you're getting, if it's correct or not. Then basic digital literacy, summarization and content simplification, then knowledge of library terminology, editing and refinement skills. You have to keep editing and refining your prompt until you get what you want. Then ethical awareness, when you see AI drifting away from the normal, you should be able to detect that and bring it back on course. Then task identification, very important, knowing when to use AI and when not to use AI. Then you need basic research skills and continuous learning mindset. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Victor, for that. And then I want to end this session with a comment from Professor Mercy Ifeanyiwaya Egbu, the FUPRI librarian. She said 2 cardinal things to achieve in classification is consistency and uniformity. AI should also help us to achieve that. Yes, this is true. So as AI keeps evolving, I'm sure that they will also improve in ensuring that there's consistency and uniformity in the answers that they give us whenever we prompt during classification and cataloging and classification. So on this note, I want to thank everyone. The attendance sheet link is still in the comment section. We are going to harness your data from there. We get your email address, and then we send the recording and the slides to you. And for those that indicated interest that would want the certificate, you will get your certificate within the next 24 hours by God's grace. So thank you so much, everyone, for taking out time to stay with us till this moment. We appreciate you all. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our able.
Thank you. The lecture is very
Thank
interesting.
you. Really appreciate.
Bye. Thank you very much for the
Thank
presentation.
you. Bye.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you, Dr. Fatima.
Thank
would
you,
have
everyone.
extended the time of question and answer because that's the most important segment of this workshop. But thank you for the time. How do we get the certificate?
Through your email, sir. Just fill the attendance form.
Liberia, thank you very much. You are doing a great job.
Thank you, Dr. Fatima. This was an interesting training. God bless you.
So you guys should pick up on that exciting work like this again, and keep educating the people.
Thank
The
you, sir. We
library is
will.
working greatly.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
We are very
Thank you,
grateful.
ma.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. We are grateful.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
We are so grateful.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Let me quickly leave here and come.